I'll tell you what, race fans, it's good to be back. Welcome back to the SRX broadcasted split after 2 weeks of not going official. We are here at Port Royal Speedway, and this race has gone official. Very happy to see that it has that it's gone official, and now just waiting for the race session to open up. I believe we have 8 people registered, so just a little bit above the minimum of 6. So should have a pretty fun race, and this track is tons of fun in the SRX car. Nice big dirt track for these cars to play around on. And currently just waiting for the race session to go live. Okay, loading into the session right now. Strength of field is going to be 1566. Lower than normal because this is weighted with dirt oval iRating, since Port Royal is a dirt track. But anyway, you scratch it. This should be a pretty fun race. Loading in as we speak. All right. And then just gotta load my ticker software real quick, and we can officially be back in business here. Cars get in practice laps in here at Port Royal. The top line is definitely gonna be the line that everyone wants to see. You really want to get those that right rear tire in the dirt up top to to get the grip that you need and a good launch on the exit of the corner. It's a big sideways moment for Nico Cipollini, right in front of Ricky Paz. Currently fastest in practice right now is the one of James R. Batzer with a 21.3. He certainly knows his way around these dirt tracks in the SRX car. Very good on dirt, Mr. Batzer is. But practice just starting to wrap up here. And soon we will be going to qualifying. All right, qualifying underway, waiting for the first person to go out on track. Seeing Nico Cipollini in the 3 car as the first car out on track. So let's see what he does on his first lap. Enters low, slides up high, not carrying as much speed as you want to be carrying through the corner, because if you run up high, you're carrying a lot more speed through the corner. Oh, and he doesn't get a very good run up to his flying lap. First lap on the board for Nico is a 22.554. He's going to try to run all the way up near the wall, trying to feed that right rear into the dirt. And then running towards the middle here. In 3 and 4 out of the corner. This is going to lend to him a 22.257. Top of the board right now is car 6 of James Vining with a 21.336. He's on his flying lap now. He's got that high line figured out, driving it real low, all sorts of sideways out of 4, but still able to carry some speed. Not faster than his first lap, but still a respectable time, a 21.607 for James Vining in car 6. Jacob Lesha in the 2 car, starting his first lap. Oh, he's doing a good job of feeding that right rear on the dirt, pulling it down, and he's going to try to get a good run to his flying lap. Let's see what this gives him. 21.6 first lap. That right rear all in the dirt. Loses a little bit of time as he had to get out of the gas to not hit the outside wall. Turns 3 and 4. A little bit sideways. He's going to try to drive out of it. Oh, all sorts of sideways down the front straightaway. And that's not good good for his qualifying. And James Batzer, fastest car in practice, has finally rolled out onto the track to do his qualifying laps. Coming to his first lap, full throttle down the front straightaway, sliding into turn 1. Over that big hump that turn 1 offers, then cutting it down a little bit on exit. Turns 3 and 4, kissing that cushion up top to get a good drive through the center of the corner. Let's see what this gets him. 21.429. Gonna try much of the same on the flying lap. He needs to make up about a 10th in this corner to get past James Vining for the pole position. Coming to the stripe. 41.510. So James Batzer with a best lap of 21.429 is going to be the outside pole sitter. He's going to start in second. Tyler Nora looks like he had a pretty hefty accident. Let's see what happened to him. Looks like he just overdrove turn 3, slid it around, and got into the wall right there. Looking at him because he's the only car on track. If we were looking at anyone else, it would just be scenic shots of the track. But we got a 30-lap tilt here at Port Royal Speedway with 8 drivers in attendance for this. So, definitely going to be a fun race to watch. Definitely missing out not having Landon Moody, who was pretty much the king of the dirt tracks in the SRX broadcasted split. But I think that with this field, we will have a pretty good race, especially with how close James Batzer and James Vining are between each other in terms of lap times. So let's get that off the screen and go to our starting lineup. Starting on the pole is the number 6 of James Vining. On his outside is car 1, James R. Batzer. Starting off in third, inside of row number 2 is going to be car 5 of Ricky Paz. And on his outside is going to be the 2 of Jacob Lesha. Starting in fourth, rounding out your top 5 is going to be Chad Bremer in car number 4. And on his outside is going to be series manager Nico Cipollini in car number 3 in 6th. running out the final row, and the field in this SRX broadcast split. It's going to be Tyler Nora on the inside in car number 8, and Tyler Brewer in car number 7 on the outside of row number 4, making up your field of 8 cars here at Port Royal Speedway. Race will be just under 11 minutes long since there are no cautions in SRX. Makes me wonder how prevalent lap traffic is going to be in this race with a field of 8 cars, because if people are running 22-second lap times, about a second slower, this race is only 30 minutes long, so we might have some lap traffic action just by pace difference by the closing laps of this, which will definitely add for a big shakeup if these two drivers, and maybe even Ricky Paz or Jacob Lesha, insert himself into the mix. But the cars are rolling here. I believe we're going to do one more trip around the front straight, or around the track really, before we go green flag racing. This is the first time James Vining has gotten pole in the SRX broadcasted split. So he's definitely going to be looking to see if he can hang on to it. But he's got a very hungry Ricky Paz and James Batzer around him. As they come out of turn number 4, next time by we will be going green for the first time officially in 2 weeks here in the SRX broadcasted split. And it's going to be James Vining leading them down to the green flag. I say the first time in 2 weeks because IRP did not go official, and then New Smyrna did not go official either, but very glad that this did. And Pace Truck is in, and now it's up to James Vining to decide whenever he wants to go to set this field off. Waiting a really long time. Green flag is out. Batzer with a good start. Ricky Paz already looking to the outside, the outside of James Vining. Vining all the way on the bottom. Batzer is going to have the run off the top. Jacob Lesha all over his back end. Oh, Paz and Lesha get into each other. Paz noses the inside wall. And oh, that's a tough start for Ricky Paz. Not how he wanted to start it off at all. Just arguing over real estate as James Batzer pulls out to a comfortable lead of about half a second over James Vining in the 6th. Jacob Lesha trying to work the outside on, James Vining. Chad Bremer going to try to follow suit. Lesha gets past Vining, and now Vining sliding up to the wall. Lesha scrapes the outside wall just a little bit. Lesha really cutting it low on exit here, as he feeds the right rear into the wall just a smidge. Gap from first to second, about half a second between Batzer and Lesha. Lesha doing a good job trying to get that car hooked up on the high side. As Batzer gets pretty hard in the wall in first place. That's going to cost him about a 10th to the 2 car right behind him. Last time by, Jacob Lesha 200ths faster than Batzer. As you see, Chad Bremer filling up James Vining's rearview mirror. Everyone running the very dominant high side here. As the gap has shrunk a little bit between Lesha and Batzer. About 0.4 of a second between first and second. Batzer gets a good drive out of the corner, extends that lead by just a smidge. And you can see James Vining getting really loose down the back straightaway. He's going to have to give up that position to Chad Bremer. So Chad doing a great job working his way through the field. Whoa, big sideways moment for Chad out of turn 2. Jacob Lesha trying to close the gap to Batzer as much as he can. And he's within 0.4, rumbling down the front straightaway here. 9 laps out of 30 complete. And Batzer's definitely got to be looking in his mirror while he's driving. As, whoa, big sideways moment for Chad. He gets it corralled. Nice save for Chad Bremer. Doesn't even lose a spot. But back up. The battle for the lead heating up here. About 0.3 of a second separating Lesha and Batzer for the lead as they're catching up on, I believe, the slower car of Tyler Nora, car number 8. Batzer scraping the wall with the right rear just a smidge. Both drivers really pounding that outside cushion to get as much grip off the corner as they can. Whoa, Lesha really sends it in there, bounces off the wall a little bit. But still within 0.3 of a second. Lesha gonna try to cut down really hard on exit. Not gonna be conducive to gaining time. Batzer scrapes the wall. You can see Lesha getting really sideways through the center of the corner as he tried to throttle up and gave it just a little bit too much juice. Car pitched sideways on him. He has to lose a little bit of time trying to corral that number 2 car. But it's been the James Batzer show thus so far, as we have a battle for 5th. Ricky Paz and Nico Cipollini going at it for the last spot in the top 5. Paz slides around Cipollini for 5th. Both drivers trying their best to get to that outside line. Back up front, big wiggle from Batzer. Here comes a push from Jacob Lesha. Lesha to the inside. He's going to try the slider on Batzer. He's going to be there. Batzer's going to try the crossover. Down to the bottom goes Batzer. Lesha's in the preferred line, but he's going to have a slider thrown on him by James Batzer. Crossover happening once again for the lead as we approach the halfway point here at Port Royal. Lesha's clear of Batzer. So now James Batzer on the back foot, having to catch up to the back of Jacob Lesha. Cars nose to tail as they approach Tyler Nora, car number 8. Not opening a lot of options in terms of room in the center of the corner, but he eventually pulls to the inside. Courteous move by Tyler Nora to allow them to cut down and exit a little bit. But now Batzer's really going to be hounding the back end of Jacob Lesha. Lesha a little bit of a wiggle on exit. Coming into turn 3. Cars only separated by about 0.3 of a second. You could put them under a blanket right now. Coming to 13 laps to go as they barrel into turn 1. Batzer in the wall a little bit. Lesha feeds the right rear into the wall. Batzer almost gets to the inside of Lesha right there. He's gonna try the slider on Jacob Lesha. Crossover coming from car number 2 onto James Batzer. Batzer with a drive out of the corner. Lesha gets a little bit sideways. Lesha gonna try a slider into turn 1. Not gonna be able to make it in time. And Batzer gonna retake the lead from car number 2 of Jacob Lesha. You can see Chad Bremer in the top of the shot back there. Now, now the two of Lesha going to have to make up time as he really flings it into the corner right there, and oh, he's going to lose a lot of time to Batzer trying that. I'm not too sure what he was trying to go with right there. But anyway, you scratch it, send it in really hard into the corner, and now the gap between cars 1 and 2 and first and second respectively is about 1 second. Let's just starting to try to close the gap with 10 laps to go here. Pulled into about an 8-10 second gap. Loses a little bit of time by scraping the wall down the backstretch. But things have got to be desperate for car number 2 as he's trying his hardest to get back to James Batzer for a chance at the at maybe a late race slider here. Tell you what, Lesha gained a little bit of time doing that, about 1.5 tenths. Seven laps to go. Will we see a late race slider come in, as I believe Ricky Paz and Tyler Nora made some contact, seeing both of them received a meatball. Gap still about 8 tenths between cars 1 and 2. Time running out for Jacob Lesha to catch up to the back of James Batzer. What does lap traffic have to say about this? You can see Ricky Paz pulling into pit lane. Gap between cars 1 and 2 shrinking to about half a second. You can see Batzer got on the wall a little bit on exit. He's losing time to car number 2. 4 laps to go. They've got Nico Cipollini right in front of him. But Batzer pulling out to a 7/10 of a second lead down the back straightaway. Oh, Lesha really sending it in quite deep. He's really trying to ring this thing, ring these SRX cars for all that they're worth. Three laps to go for James Batzer to win his first SRX broadcasted race. Getting all up in the cushion. And coming up on the lap car of Nico Cipollini. Cipollini going to run the high side. Batzer going to get slowed up a little bit by lap cars. Here comes Jacob Lesha. The 2 car bounces off the back wall. 2 laps to go. Cipollini, oh geez, something's happening with all of these drivers. Oh, contact between Cipollini and Batzer. They're gonna be rumbling down the front straightaway. White flag in the air. Lesha gonna try a crazy slider, not gonna be able to make it happen. Batzer bounces off the wall in turn 1. He's gonna pull away down the backstretch. All he needs to do is make 2 clean final corners here to secure the win, and he's gonna have it made. James R. Batzer gets his first SRX broadcasted split win at Port Royal. Jacob Lesha coming home just short in second. Chad Bremer with an impressive third place finish. A very quiet third place finish for Chad, but either way, he's on the podium. Let's get your results up on the screen really quick. Coming home in first, it's James Batzer in car number 1. Then in second, it is Jacob Lesha in car number 2. Chad Bremer drives up to third in car number 4. James R. Viney started on the pole, slid back to 4th in car 6. And Nico Cipollini, first car 1 lap down rounding out your top 5 here at Port Royal. Ricky Paz and Tyler Nora got together, and both of them finished 6th and 7th respectively. And Tyler Brewer left the race early, but let's see what happened between Nora and Paz. So they're going side by side. And, oh, Ricky Paz just was not expecting Tyler Nora to be there. Hard hit for both cars. Just one of those unfortunate things with dirt racing. It's hard to see just how close you are to another car. But thank you for tuning into the SRX broadcast split. My name is Garrett Hess. Next week we will be going to let me see where we are actually going to. Give me 1 second. Next week we will be at Oxford Plains Speedway. So next week at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be at the almost completely circular Oxford Plains Speedway. Should be a pretty fun race to witness. My name is Garrett Hess. Thank you for watching the SRX broadcast, but big thanks to Nico, everyone who showed up, and Andrew Schulte and SKS Graphics for their help with their tickers. Like always,